I don't want to hear, oh, why men always have to pay. Because women are the prize. I'm not going half. I'm not tipping. I'm not, oh, my turn. I'm not your girlfriend, okay? McDonald's don't suffice for me no more. I'm grown. I'm grown!
Yeah, guys, so she's grown up. She's an adult now. She's very independent. So you have to pay for all of her stuff. Okay, so you know she's this wonderful adult, guys, and she's entitled to your money. Isn't that just fantastic? But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we're looking at some quality entitlement here, guys, because we're going to be looking at stories relating to don't date a man who's below your pay grade. Because that's what relationships are nowadays, apparently, guys. If you don't have that money, they don't want to hear it. But guys, if you're new here, you're liking the videos, make sure you subscribe on your way in. Come and join the Discord, link in the description if you haven't already. And if you'd like to support the channel, guys, as always, the Patreon link is in the description for exclusive videos and other bits and pieces. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, make sure you check that out. But guys, we're going to start off today's show with just a quick one here titled Got Out Quick. And we're just going to jump right into it. So I ended up dating a man who was emotionally unavailable. Basically, super great in person, great at making you feel like you're the only girl in the world, generous with money, etc. However, if you if you weren't with him, you might as well not even exist. I told him it was important to me that we had daily contact, at least good mornings or whatever. He'd say the good morning and then pretty much leave me on red whenever I responded, and leave me on red any other time. Yeah, it's almost, guys, it's crazy. It's almost like people have lives. Right? Like, what is this girl doing all day? Okay, does she not have a life? Does she not have things to do? You see, all these girls, they're so independent, man. They're so wonderfully independent. And yet they thrive off of male attention and resources. Isn't that just absolute craziness, gentlemen? If you haven't checked out his channel already, guys, there's a channel called AMS. It's Alpha Male Strategies. A bit of a cringy title, I know. But he does some great videos on women and validation, gentlemen. Girls need validation and attention like plants need sunlight, guys. And if they don't get it, you're a terrible little, awful little man. Okay, let's continue. Fast forward to him blurting out that he loves me. I asked him if he really meant it, and he says yes. It never comes up again. A week later, I asked him if he meant it, and of course got the runaround. Bunch of dumb excuses that made me feel like I wasn't enough and almost sent me into pick-me-isha mode. I chose myself, and I chose myself fast. Left his house Sunday, dumped him on Monday. I'm proud of myself, but I know that there's still much work to do on myself. Men are effing idiots, though. Hey guys, we're just a couple of idiots. These stories make me laugh so much, man. So much. These girls are like, oh, why isn't he picking me? He says one thing and he does another. It's so confusing. Guys, if you're someone who says one thing and does another, that draws women in. If you say you love a girl and it never gets brought up again, she's going to be thinking in her head, oh, I wonder if he really likes me. Does he really like me? What if I did this for him? What if I did all of these things for him? Maybe he'd like me then, but he said he already liked me. You see how the hamster wheel of anxiety starts to turn? That's what love looks like for girls. Guys, really drill that in. That's what love looks like for girls. It's this up and down, stressful roller coaster of emotions. They don't go to the guy who provides great stability, who's always there for them, who is a shoulder to cry on, who tries to fix their problems. Gentlemen, we've all been in that position before. When you've tried to help a girl out, you try and show her that you care, that she can make it through because she's a tough girl, and a good guy will come around, such as yourself. No, 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 no. We ain't saving these girls, guys. That's what they want. If they're drawn to situations like this, where they have to work for his validation, and when they get it, not so interested anymore. But let's take a look at some of the comments here, guys, because these are really quite funny. I'm so proud of you. I kicked myself this past few weeks. I stayed with this exact kind of guy for 6 months, paying for it now. We're feeling like an idiot. Good on you for getting out early. Thank you. I forgot to mention we only started talking like early May. And then here's a real quicker, guys. I know you're kicking yourself now, but I'm proud that you're out of that relationship. could have taken you longer than 6 months to have realized that. Keep leveling up. This woman, let's address this. I stayed with this exact kind of guy for 6 months. Because if you ask a girl and you say, hey, what was your ex like? And she describes him as a terrible guy. He wasn't consistent. He was never there for me. And she has a cry about it. And then you ask her how long she was with the guy for. She'll tell you something ridiculous. 6 months, 18 months. Oh, I was with him for, guys, I was with him for 2 years before I realized my worth. I was with him. I got strung along in a terrible relationship for 2.5 years. He kept me there. These girls can leave the relationship any damn time that they want, but they love the drama. They love the stress of it, wondering if he likes her or not. These chads out here, guys, they don't care about these girls at all. At all. And let's have a what a black hole of a man. Blurts out, I love you for no reason unprompted, and then tries to weasel out of it and just makes everything weird and uncomfortable. Lamau, manipulates someone else, you effing freak show. This is what makes me mad the most. No one told you to make you say it. Coward. I can't promise you those feelings will materialize. Oh, I'll be over it soon, but wow, I'm so mad. Lamau. Because whenever you read stuff like this, if you just take the part that irritates them and incorporate it into your love life, it's very interesting, the results. I mean, look how much of a reaction saying this but not saying it again gets. Because they almost got the guy. They almost got his attention. You know, for such strong and independent women, guys, it makes you laugh just how much they need those words of they need to feel good about themselves. I just find this sentence to be incredibly ironic. But gentlemen, we're going to jump into the second article of today, and this is. I'm just going to reposition here, but this one is titled Dating and Socioeconomic Status. And I'm just going to have to move this one over a little bit so we can get a good full look at it. But guys, of course, you want to be dating people above your socioeconomic status as a girl, because that's what you deserve. You know, he's got to pay for everything. No 50-50. The guy just pays just for the girl showing up, I suppose, because that's what relationships seem to have degenerated into these days. But away we go. Dating and socioeconomic status. Okay, ladies, I'm going to talk about this subject and I might get downvoted to hell about it, but I feel like it is something that must be said, especially against my own personal experience. Women, we need to be extremely considerate when dating different social classes, and I would posit a general rule to not date beneath your socioeconomic class. Because what is love? What is actually caring about the other person? What is getting to know the other person when you can just date someone who's richer than you? That's something so insidious about this this whole Disney narrative that men in particular are sold. Men are sold this idea, you know what, guys, if you show her all of these wonderful characteristics about yourself, if you make a point of puffing your chest up, doing everything that you can to solve my lady's problems, she's going to choose you. You ever think about maybe they're just looking for rich dudes? It doesn't. Hey, to hell with the personality for a second. Maybe it's just got to do with the fact that relationships are not what we thought they were, guys. Maybe we just lied about it. And I'm just going to pull up this video again. Guys, we're going to watch this video one more time just to really get it. So I'm going to switch back and we're just going to watch this TikTok because it is just absolutely fantastic at describing this.
I don't want to hear, oh, why men always have to pay. Because women are the prize. I'm not going half. I'm not tipping. I'm not, oh, my turn. I'm not your girlfriend, okay? McDonald's don't suffice for me no more. I'm grown. I'm grown!
And that's the state of relationships at the moment. Maybe they're just after your wallet. And people will come at men and they'll say, oh, all these guys on our side of the internet, they're just superstitious almost about getting screwed over in divorce courts. That never happens. Men never get used for their money at all. You guys, you're just being paranoid about it. Okay, girls will love you. You just have to show them that you care. You just have to show them you're willing to get them flowers and do all of these things. And at the end of the day, you're going to get your princess, your girl in the tower who's only there for you and has eyes for no other man. But you know what? She has eyes for other men. These girls that are out here right now, you think you're in a relationship with her, she's just waiting. She's just waiting for the next dude. She's not yours, it's just your turn, gentlemen. But let's continue with this. Let me explain. I grew up upper middle class, grew up in a house. Parents were both professionals, a doctor and a professor. I went to the best public schools in the city. We regularly went on family vacations, international and domestic, etc., etc., etc. I mean, fantastic for you, I guess. Basically, I grew up very well. However, I believed the lie that society tells us that class doesn't matter. So when I graduated high school and went to college, I dated anyone. Oh, I bet you did. Just date around. Hell, to hell with one. Why have one boyfriend when you can have six in 5 months? Why would you have one boyfriend when you can get on Tinder and you can see a guy every day of the week? You can see a different, exciting new guy every day of the week. He might not commit to you, but hey, at least it was fun, right? And when she's 30, when she's 40, when she's knocking on 50, hey, maybe she'll settle down and get a husband then, so it looks like she's lived her life responsibly and she's deserving of marriage. If you're going to give a ring to a girl, guys, first of all, don't. Second of all, don't give it to any of these girls who have had, oh yeah, I've been dating around. Marriage, these people are not wife material at all. They're just absolutely not. Let's get going. This included those from lower socioeconomic classes. I dated the kid who grew up in the hood, but was so nice. In fact, I made the ultimate mistake of marrying one of those types, and that is where my lesson begins. When I met and dated my ex-husband, I knew we weren't on the same social class. In fact, that was a concern of mine, but one that I foolishly pushed to the side of my head because one, he was college educated, and two, though he came from a poorer background, he had his own apartment and seemed to want better for his life. Had a good job, dressed like a professional, etc., etc. However, as we dated and got married, I began to see that though that he wanted to do better. His background and familiarity with impoverished background and living was something that he hadn't divorced. He did a good job of trying, but after leaving and reflecting, I realized that it was me who was more so being dragged down versus him rising up. Now, he had a unique other set of issues too that ultimately led to our divorce. Hello, mother's boy narcissist. However, once I left, I fully realized that this man who I thought wanted to do better really didn't know how to slash wasn't going to do better at all. After filing for divorce, I found a plethora of notices from creditors who he owned. His credit was terrible. In his mind, he could and would live off of $1 a week, and that difference in mentality of what is acceptable and what is not, what is something that we never could have survived with. The concept of savings was foreign to him, while for me it was a strong foundation of my upbringing. Furthermore, everything we did together was me exposing him to things and him exposing me to hood knowledge, which to be honest, I really could have done without. Basically, he had nothing to offer me, and again, it was me pulling him up, and all he could offer was to bring me down. That's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious. Oh yeah, I was with a mother's boy narcissist, and I finally got out after 2 years, guys. I realized that he was a terrible person after 2 years, after I realized that I backed the wrong horse. Any empathy? Any sympathy for the lady? No, absolutely not. Okay, absolutely not. These girls, I've said this many times on the channel, but they choose who to date. And a lot of the times, men, we think that girls are choosing partners with love, with care. They're trying to choose a partner who will do good by them, who will give them the things that they need. And sure, that happens typically later in life. They'll try and back the right horses. But anyway, the point is, they're dating logically as well. They want the guy who can secure the bag. They want the guy who can provide for them for the rest of their life. But at the same time, that attraction, they're not that attracted to that guy. So they need to get the tingles somehow. So hey, if he's a hood guy who looks like he can make it big, all the better. Not only do you get the bad boy element, but you also get to be looked after when you're 50. And we guys, we think that these girls make decisions based off of love. No, she's looking at one, how much validation she gets from you. Two, how much money she gets from you. Three, how attractive you are. Right? These are all considerations. If you are not a guy that a girl can say, "Hey, this is my boyfriend," and then the other girls in the group kind of look up to you and go, "Oh wow, you got him." You see how guys are almost like a trophy. They're an insurance policy. They're a trophy. Any guys, basically anything except for love, really. If you guys, I read in the comments, one of my comments the other day, and it got a lot of likes down below. One of the boys said, what did he say? He said he was quoting a girl when he said, "Oh, I love you. I'd be there forever." And then he asked if anyone else had heard those words before, and she was long gone. Absolutely. That's a common experience for men. Maybe she goes on to find someone richer. Maybe she goes on to find someone who is not as there for her. There seemed to be a lot of confusion on my last video, guys, and we're going to jump into the comments below here in a second, but there seemed to be a lot of confusion on my last video between guys who provide money, chivalry, and that kind of thing, and girls who are actually attracted to them. I just want to make this very clear. There's different kinds of attraction. There's the attraction that will get you called over at 2 a.m. in the morning to have some fun, and then there's some attraction where she knows that she needs an insurance policy. Okay, so they're different things. Girls can be attracted to money, but that doesn't mean that they're attracted to you. You see how guys are given different roles in relationships based on what the girl kind of needs in the moment. All these girls, oh yeah, they'll be attracted to stability and all that thing later on in life for sure. But will they cheat it behind his back? Will they want to go out and get that party guy if they can? Yeah, absolutely. They'll still be on the lookout for that fun guy that maybe they can lock down as opposed to the security. They'll still take the security. They'll still be attracted to the security, but they're not attracted to the guy. That's not as interesting for them in a bedroom sense. But let's crack into some comments here, gentlemen. This is a tricky issue because we, of course, want to judge people based on how they handle the cards they have been dealt and not based on factors they can't control. But there are a lot of factors to think about when evaluating compatibility. My last two boyfriends grew up poor, and not US American poor, but third world country poor, before they immigrated to the US. My longest relationship was with a guy who wanted to financially support his mum eventually, which would have been a financial strain for us if we wanted kids. He also had student loan debt, which stressed him out so much that we could not even talk about it. I would ask him specific questions about his payment plans, how we made our financial decisions, etc., and he would not have any solid answers to my questions and would instead get super defensive and yell at me for not understanding the struggle. Which, to be fair, I was privileged enough to not have this debt, but I was genuinely trying to understand his situation. I simply cannot date someone who is uncomfortable talking about his finances. He was so stressed out that even though we agreed to share utility bills when living together, I never revealed to him how high some of them were because I was worried he would get upset and stressed out and it would lead to a fight. So I just covered electricity and told him it was roughly equal to the internet bill he paid, even though he was making more money than me at the time. Obviously not a great situation. These stories are incredibly funny because girls will do anything for a guy that they like and they're attracted to. Okay, she'll pay the bills. She'll drive 2 hours to come see you in a thunderstorm. She'll do all of these things if she really likes you. The girl who doesn't like you, oh, I'm tired tonight. Oh, I'm not so oh, maybe, honey, can we do it tomorrow? Oh, you've got to clean the gutters and mow the lawn. And if you don't, oh, I don't know if bedroom fun will happen for the next 2 months. You see? You see how some guys, the top 10%, the top 5%, and not necessarily always in money, guys. Remember that. You can just... These girls will do anything to get back validation. It's an ego thing. If you don't give them validation, they get absolutely hungry for it. Again, I would encourage you guys to go and look at the AMS YouTube channel, in particular where he talks about validation. Girls will literally have full relationships with guys who don't give them any attention because they want to earn the attention. It's like an addiction. It literally is. It's like an addiction for these people. But guys, we're going to read the rest of this and wrap up. My most recent boyfriend had also grown up super poor and had been through a lot of trauma. Parents and sister all passed away a few years back, and there were some other issues. Given his situation, I think he was genuinely trying his best to make a good life for himself. However, I felt that his problems dragged me down, and he expected me to be the answer to his issues. I was always taking care of him, supporting him emotionally. Okay. I even foolishly floated the idea of marrying him if he needed a visa. Clearly, it was a situation that wasn't sustainable, and I broke up with him because being his girlfriend felt like a chore to me. I also felt like he was controlling at times. Both of these men complained I was selfish and didn't invest enough time into taking care of them. I had been working on my PhD thesis at the time, and when I came home, I just wanted to relax and not play therapist. I wanted to date somebody who can take responsibility for their own happiness without me needing to do it. Long story short, people with problems, even if they are a matter of circumstance, can drag you down with them. Be aware of what you can tolerate and handle. Both people are supposed to benefit from the relationship we have, and I left both of those relationships feeling extremely relieved. Now, these are all fantastic points. Yeah, these are wrapping up here, guys. These are all fantastic points. Okay, just have a look at this. Don't get dragged down by people, and when you're in a relationship, it's not a responsibility to make your partner happy. Those are fantastic. Those are absolutely true. Okay, but here is where things get a little bit questionable. I broke up with him because being his girlfriend felt like a chore to me. I also felt like he was controlling at times. Now, do you imagine if we were to see the man's version, the man's side of the story, it would look a little bit different to this? I imagine it would look very different. You see, when you ask girls, how did your relationship end? They will always paint it as if they're out smelling like roses and they didn't do anything wrong. It will always end up like that. Maybe this was the situation, sure. But in general, guys, both sides of the story I needed to kind of make a judgment on there. But guys, we're going to wrap up today's video there. As always, if you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe on your way out. Leave your thoughts below, any comments, things to share, perhaps some life experiences. And if you'd like to support the channel, make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description for some exclusive videos. But gentlemen, we're going to leave it there. As always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you boys in the next one. Peace.